Well, good afternoon, Kentucky, and I'm meteorologist Christina Sanjuan. It is Tuesday, February 27th, and we are just about to hit 2:30 in the afternoon. We are looking at the possibility of strong and severe storms overnight tonight, so I want to walk you through the latest track, the timing, the impacts, and basically what you can do to prepare right now as we approach this severe weather threat. So we'll go ahead and get right into it. First, taking a live look outside our downtown skyline. After a pretty rude awakening to the day, many of us woke up to that thunder, lots of lightning with the storms very early this morning. Now that's all out of here. None of that was severe, but it was quite noisy at times whenever you're probably waking up to head to work or send the kids off to school. At this point, though, we are just dealing with quite a bit of wind and obviously completely socked under all of those clouds that we're seeing outside. So speaking of the wind, we are gusting close to 30 miles per hour right now in Louisville, and then we're kind of just gusting right around 20 to 25 farther on to the south. Not as much wind there in southern Indiana, but we will continue to feel that wind gusting anywhere from 30 to 40 miles per hour, especially as those storms will be approaching us from the west. And that's why the National Weather Service does have us under a wind advisory, even just outside of the thunderstorms that we're expecting. That's in effect right now and will continue to be in effect until 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So even in the wake of those thunderstorms, non-thunderstorm wind gusts are still going to be gusting up to about 40 miles per hour. But while we do see the storms actually approach, they're likely going to be picking up a lot more. Wind is actually one of our primary threats with any storm that gets going as we go into the overnight hours. Moving right along to that severe weather potential. The orange color that we're seeing is actually the latest update from the Storm Prediction Center. It's called an enhanced risk, and that's a level 3 of 5 on that severe weather potential scale. However, even if you aren't outlined in that orange color, we are all still at a risk. So the yellow from Litchfield stretching over to Bardstown is called a slight risk, 2 of 5, still means that you could see a severe thunderstorm or two overnight. Is just not quite as large of a threat as folks to the north. So that level 3 of 5 is stretching from Breckinridge County through Bollitt, Shelby, and all areas stretching up through our southern Indiana counties there. Again, for about the 3 to 8 o'clock in the morning time frame. We'll kind of dig into those threats here after we get through Futurecast first. So 9, 10 o'clock this evening does look like we could have a cell or two move through the Bedford, Seymour, North Vernon areas. Kind of just ahead of that main line that we're expecting. Until then, we're just going to be dealing with some drizzle and quite a bit of wind. As I just showed you, this is 9:30 tonight. Most of us dry. We are just going to see that quick line of storms from Bedford over to North Vernon. The main action doesn't arrive until about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. First starting in southern Indiana from Jasper over to Scottsburg, and then it tries to get its act together as the hours go on. So we have this line of thunderstorms that we'll be watching incredibly closely from Hardinsburg, stretching through the city and up toward Newcastle, and that'll continue to move through Kentuckiana as the night continues through about 6, 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Still watching that line pass through to the south, so from Munfordville and to Campbellsville. We also could have a few stragglers back behind that line, but that is going to be the main event that we're watching from, and hence why we gave you the time frame from 2 o'clock to 8 o'clock in the morning. As we move along into 8, 9 o'clock, that severe weather threat will quickly diminish, and we'll probably just have some heavier pockets of some rain showers as you're heading out to your morning commute. But also do keep in mind that there's probably going to be some pooled up water on the roadways because of the locally heavy rainfall we do have moving through with that initial line of showers and thunderstorms. For your Wednesday afternoon, it's going to be a lot cooler than what we've been seeing the last couple of days. Yesterday, we set a record high temperature of 77 degrees, just incredibly warm for mid and late February across Kentucky, and tomorrow is going to be quite different. We'll have that brisk breeze coming in from the northwest, and high temperatures only going to be in the upper 30s to the lower 40s. Talking about those impacts that I mentioned, though, wind, yes, is going to be the main threat. We could see those storms produce wind gusts over 70 miles per hour. That could produce tree damage. Down power lines, not out of the question, down tree branches. So right now, best you can do is secure outdoor furniture, any loose objects, especially trampolines. It's certainly going to produce enough wind that it could throw your trampoline into the neighbor's yard if it's not secured to the ground in some way. Also, heavy rain, as I mentioned, could lead to the pooled up water on the roadways, maybe some isolated flooding, especially in your flood prone areas and low lying areas, of course. And then hail is also not out of the question. We're really talking all modes of severe weather here. We could see anywhere from quarter-sized hail, which is on the smaller end, but of course that it could still do some damage, but it could get as large as the size of a golf ball, which is 1.75 inches in diameter, and that size of hail could cause damage to your vehicles. Best thing you can do again is bring your car inside of the garage if you have one, because that kind of hail could certainly do some damage. Now, we do have a tornado in one of those threats. It's a lower end tornado threat, so it's not exactly likely. I'm not going to guarantee that we will see tornadoes, but it could happen, so we need to prepare for the event that we see maybe an isolated brief tornado pop up as the storms are passing on through. Another thing that does make this whole system just a little bit more dangerous than it otherwise would be is because it's an overnight event. Most people I know are fast asleep at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. What you could do right now is go ahead and plug in your phone, get some fresh batteries, and make sure all of that is charged up. So the cell phone charged, of course, you certainly want to have that on and have our WHAS 11 phone app on it, because we will push any warnings to your phone. And in case you do lose power, you could actually watch the app on your phone, and we will be live on TV and walking you through the warnings. So you will be able to actually watch us live on air through your phone as, say, you're in your safe spot. Also, stay up to date on the forecast, which if you're watching right now, doing the right thing is exactly what you're doing, is staying up to the very latest. We'll, of course, have more updates later on at 4, 5, and 6, and then for the night team at 11. But the main point is you need to have multiple ways to receive a warning if one is issued in your neighborhood. So have a way to wake up for it so you're not sleeping through what could potentially be a dangerous situation. I'm not promising you that you are going to have a dangerous situation, but it's much better to be prepared than underprepared. I did briefly mention the safe spaces. It's a good idea to go ahead and maybe put some blankets down there, some pillows, some snacks, especially if you have little ones. It's better to do it ahead of time than rushing down to the basement and trying to grab some snacks from your kitchen after that warning has already been issued. First aid kit, always a good idea to have handy in your safe spot as well, in the lowest area of your house, away from windows and doors. A quick look at the 7-day forecast. We are going to be quite a bit cooler and breezy through the course of your Wednesday and your Thursday. We'll at least see the sunshine return, but the warmth is not going to be returning until this weekend. Another chance for some showers and a couple of thunderstorms to ring in March 1st already for your Friday. Temperatures in those lower 50s. And then we're going to really see those temperatures raising back to the 70s really in no time by Sunday. Sunday's looking absolutely fantastic. And then this active period of weather does look to stick around at least through this time next week. So while we've been incredibly happy to see the spring-like weather and temperatures that we've been having, that also means that we're talking about spring-like thunderstorms, and unfortunately this time does look like we are going to be facing that as we head into the overnight hours. Again, that main timing from 2 o'clock in the morning until 8 o'clock in the morning. Here at WHAS 11, we're going to have meteorologists here around the clock. I'll be here for the 4 and 6. Meteorologist Colleen Peterson will be doing the 5 o'clock and the 11 o'clock night team with all the latest forecasts. Colleen will be here until Ben Pine and Sam Gabrielle again at 2 o'clock in the morning. So we're going to be keeping you updated and safe, prepared, of course, every step of the way. I'm going to hop on off of here to get ready for WHS 11 News at 4 o'clock, but I hope everybody stays safe, and thank you for tuning in.